Hey guys, what's up? It's Jawa Killer here, and today I'm gonna shoot a video of my video game collection. Not really sure why I want to shoot it, but I do. So, we're gonna get started here. The first two, some of this is in alphabetical order, some of it is not because I've messed it up, but yeah. Alright, but the first here is Borderlands, which is probably my favorite game of this generation, if not ever. And I had the original copy, but it broke, so I ended up getting the Game of the Year edition, which comes with all 4 DLCs, which is a great deal if you haven't got it yet. It's an awesome game. You should definitely play it. Next up we have Brutal Legend. It was a really interesting game, to say the least. I never did end up beating it because the last couple battles are really tough, and it's sort of like a RTS game with some action elements, an open world to explore. It's voiced by Jack Black. It's a really funny game, and I hope I will get back into it soon and finally beat it, but I'm not sure, but it's worth it. Next up, we have Bully Scholarship Edition. This is an incredible game made by Rockstar. You know, it's about this kid Jimmy, and he goes to school, a boarding school, and it's just about his adventures dealing with all the different kids and teachers and classes and whatnot. It's really fun. I'm pretty sure you can get this for dirt cheap, and it's worth it. It's one of Rockstar's greatest games. I would put it up there with Red Dead Redemption, but it's really good. So definitely pick it up. Next up, we have Black Ops. I don't think I really need to talk about Black Ops too much. It's Call of Duty, you know. Then we have Castlevania Lord of Shadows. This is an amazing game. It has one of the best endings I have seen in such a long time. It's got so many twists and turns, and it's just so good. You should definitely pick this up. They're coming out with a sequel for the 3DS soon called Mirrors of Fate, and then Lords of Shadow 2 is coming up sometime in the not too distant future, so I'm definitely stoked for that. I love this game. It's just incredible. Next up, we have Crysis 2. This is a really good game. The graphics are amazing. I don't think I ever beat this game, just because I don't think I got into the story too much. But the multiplayer I had some fun with a couple of buddies. It's worth it, I would say. Next, we have Dark Void. I know some people may be laughing that I have this, but honestly, it has its fair share of problems, you know, no one will disagree with that, but the jetpack is so much fun to use, just flying around with it. I spent at least 10 minutes just flying around one level, just because it's so much fun doing. Yeah, so that's Dark Void. There's really nothing else to say. Sorry about that, you guys probably have a jump cut. My batteries ran out on my camera, so I had to go get new ones. What I left off with was Dead Island. A lot of people said this was, you know, their Game of the Year for 2011. I really didn't enjoy it. I don't know why, I just did not like it at all. I played it for a couple hours with a friend who loved it, and I don't know, I just didn't feel that great about it. I don't know, I haven't gone back that much since. There's been a couple of hours maybe that I've spent on this game. Yeah, it looks really good, the graphics are good. I just wasn't, you know, impressed by it. I didn't get into the game, and that is really what led to my disappointment. But, I mean, you know, it's alright for the people who like it. I just was not a fan. Next up, we have Dead Rising 2. I do have the Zombrex edition, which is awesome. Comes in like a pill box. This is a fun game. You know, it's an open world zombie killing game. You get to make your own weapons and kill zombies, and it's pretty fun. Next we have Dragon Age 2. Many people said that they didn't like this because compared to Dragon Age Origins, it really didn't stand up, and it repeated dungeon layouts, which people were disappointed by. But I thought the overall story was alright. I thought that the combat was good, the gameplay was fun, but it definitely had its share of flaws. Next is Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. I got this game sheerly because I was going over to a friend's house and I wanted something to play co-op, and this looked just like a game that we could laugh at together. We ended up spending the whole entire night, about 6 or 7 hours, beating this entire campaign, which that last level is a major pain in the ass. But we did beat it. It's an interesting game, to say the least. I wouldn't do it justice by describing it, so, rent it or watch videos of it on YouTube to get your opinion on whether you should pick it up or not. Next is Enslaved Odyssey to the West. This is a really overlooked game, in my opinion. The graphics are really good, the story is amazing, the ending is confusing and good. I would put it up there with the endings of Castlevania, Lords of Shadow. It's just that type of strange ending that you didn't see coming. But this was a really cool game. The graphics are good, the color is good, a lot of fun characters and gameplay mechanics. So I would definitely recommend this. I got it for $15. It's definitely worth it. Next is Halo 3. Again, I don't think I need to say much about Halo 3 that hasn't already been said by other people. So yeah, Halo 3. Next up is Homefront. I had a really good time with this game. The campaign wasn't amazing, but the multiplayer really stood out as being a nice tactical shooter that you could play with friends. And I know me and at least 5 of my friends played this for a couple of weeks straight. Just every day we would, we had our set classes and our set strategies, and it was just tons of fun to play with friends. You can probably get this for pretty cheap, and why not? The campaign isn't amazing, but the multiplayer I would say is worth it. Next up is Dark Souls. This is probably my game of the year for 2011. I would put it over Skyrim and all that other stuff. I love this game. It's so good. So good. I think I have at least 7 playthroughs going on right now. I'm still playing it. I'm probably going to still play it for at least a couple of years to come. It's just a really hard but really rewarding and really fun game. Next up is The Witcher 2 Assassins of King Enhanced Edition. This game is absolutely incredible. The story is, I would put it up there with Game of Thrones on like the complexity and stuff. It's got many different stories, many different ways you can play the game. I think there's over 16 endings. It's just, the combat is really challenging but also rewarding, like Dark Souls. The characters are cool, the environments are cool, the powers are cool. It's just tons of fun to play. And if you get the Enhanced Edition for the Xbox, it comes with a quest handbook, which is basically a little mini strategy guide. And it has every single quest, every single side quest, and everything in it. So it's definitely, I would say, worth it. Next is Skyrim. I enjoyed Skyrim. I don't think there's many people who didn't enjoy Skyrim. But after, my first, couple weeks with it, my excitement in it kind of died down after I beat many of the main quest lines and all of the guild quests. My excitement kind of died for it. I haven't picked up Dawnguard yet. I'm still on the edge of picking it up. I haven't done it yet, but maybe when I do, my enjoyment will rise again in this game. But it's a solid RPG. I just wasn't my greatest game. That being said, I did enjoy it. I did think it's an awesome game, but whatever. Battlefield 3 Limited Edition. I definitely recommend this game to anyone who likes squad-based, tactical, strategic multiplayer shooters. The campaign is not amazing like Homefront, but the multiplayer really is amazing. There's a reason why the multiplayer disc is disc 1 in this game. It's because the multiplayer is really what the game is about. It's like Homefront. Me and my friends still to this day play almost every single week. Just like, it's so much fun. It's just really good. All the different ways you can do it, and all the different vehicles and strategies and stuff. It's just awesome. Next is Saints Row the Third. Some people say that this didn't stand up to Saints Row the Second, but I didn't have Saints Row 2, so I don't have that opinion. I thought this was a solid game. It definitely was funny. Definitely had its share of flaws and stuff, but one of those being that after the game is over, you don't really have that much to do besides some side quests, which aren't really that much fun. But it's definitely a good game for that you want. Sorry about that jump cut again. My mom came screaming down in the basement, and so I shut off my camera to avoid that. Anyway, next we have Red Dead Redemption. Again, not much to be said about this that hasn't already been said. This is an amazing game. I'm not sure if it was my game of the year for 2010, but it was definitely in the top 5. This is just another Rockstar gem. It's just amazing. You can ride anywhere you want. The horses' physics are amazing. The characters are amazing. The story is amazing. The gunplay is amazing. The multiplayer is fun. It's just, you can do so much stuff in this game. If you haven't gotten it already, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's worth whatever they're asking for it. Next up is the Mass Effect Trilogy. That is Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. I really enjoyed these games. Out of all of them, I would say I enjoyed Mass Effect 2 the best, with Mass Effect 3 second, and Mass Effect first. These are just awesome games. A really nice space opera. Some people didn't like the Mass Effect 3 ending, and I didn't think it was that bad. Maybe if you were hyped up. I wasn't hyped up as much as other people were, so I wasn't that disappointed in it. But I mean, they have changed the endings, which is a free downloadable content. So I guess there's really no reason you shouldn't have played these games. It's just tons of fun. There's so many different things you can do, and the characters are good. The story is intense. It's just an awesome game. Next up, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Probably my favorite Call of Duty out of all of them. I still go back and play the multiplayer today, even though there are some hackers on it. I just think it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. I don't have the case for this because I bought it maybe about a year after it was released, and for some reason they didn't have the case. But anyway, next up is Max Payne 3, another Rockstar game that is really awesome. I beat this in probably 2 days. The storyline is amazing. The one problem I have with the storyline is that the last couple levels, it gets really repetitive with the shooting, and it doesn't have that same enjoyment that it does for the first few levels. But even after you beat the game, there's the full-fledged multiplayer experience that comes with this game. They didn't, spare any expenses. It's tons of fun. The story is good. The mechanics are fun. It's really worth it. If you don't want to get it now for the $60, wait a couple weeks or so for the price to drop. But it's definitely worth having in your collection. Next up is Dragon's Dogma. I got this the same day I got Max Payne 3rd. Max Payne 3. I haven't beat it yet. It's going to be one of those long ones because it's an RPG, which are usually pretty long. But this definitely looks really, really fun. I haven't broken into it that far yet. I've only probably played a couple hours. But it definitely looks like it's going to be really, really fun to play. And I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy it tons. I've seen videos of it on YouTube, and it looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like something I want to get into, so I'm hoping I will enjoy it. Next up, we have Mafia II, another open world-esque game. It's not the most exciting open world there is. You can definitely get better, but it's a solid game. You know, if you want to pretend you're in the Mafia, I don't think you can get any better than this. I mean, the storyline's good, the ending is really, really surprising and good, and it's awesome. Yep. Next, NHL 10. I would say this is more my brother's game. I'm not really that much into sports games, but I did have fun with this for the little bit that I've played. I did make my own character, which is something you can do. But yeah, NHL 10. Mirror's Edge. This game is amazing. And, you know, it's amazing. There's really nothing I can say about it that, again, hasn't already been said. If you haven't played this, you should. It was overlooked, I would say, for the awesomeness that it is. It's just basically a parkour simulator, except it's so good at being a parkour simulator, and then the story is also really intriguing that there's no reason why this should have been overlooked by a bunch of people, because it's definitely a really, really fun game that should receive more, what's the word, publicity or enjoyment or whatever. Next up, Splinter Cell Double Agent Limited Collector's Edition. This is a fun game. I don't think I never did beat this game, because at the time this came out, at the time I got this, Splinter Cell Conviction came out, and I just got that and played that all the way through, and then I just never came back to finish this up. But I did spend a bunch of time with the multiplayer of this game, which is bunches of fun. It's mercenaries versus Splinter Cells. So, like, the Splinter Cells have to sneak around and, you know, hack stuff, and the mercenaries are trying to protect it. It's really cool. A bunch of strategies involved in that. The story I've heard is really good, and there's a bunch of different choices you can make with it. I will probably beat this game by the time Blacklist, I believe, comes out, just to, you know, catch up, really get in with the storyline. But yeah, that's Splinter Cell Double Agent. Next is Batman Arkham City. I do have the collector's edition, where the case is this nice art book. But this game, again, probably I can do it no justice that hasn't already been given to it. I was kind of disappointed in this game. I expected more, but that's not to say I didn't like it. I loved this game. This game is amazing. Especially after seeing Dark Knight Rises, which came out yesterday. Yesterday. It's definitely worth it. You know, Arkham City, for any of those Batman fans who liked Arkham Asylum, this is even better than, well, I would say it's better in certain respects than Arkham Asylum, worse in some respects, but it's definitely a solid game that you should have in your collection. You know, not necessarily the collector's edition, even though it did come with a bunch of cool stuff, but, you know, it's just an awesome, awesome game, and I hope they come out with a sequel sometime soon. Next up is Mortal Kombat. This is an awesome fighter, beat-em-up, not really a beat-em-up, awesome fighter. and it really brought back, you know, the Mortal Kombat, all the fun, you know, deadly stuff that Mortal Kombat used to be. It brought it back after, you know, that not necessarily failure, but not a good game of Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, which wasn't very good. I did own that, but I sold it. This is a really fun game. I still play with friends every once in a while. It definitely is a deep game in terms of, to get good of it, you really have to learn the combos and master the master the combos and different, you know, strategies to use the X-rays, and, you know, it's just a bunch of fun. Yep, the storyline is good. Never beat it. Shao Kahn is unbelievably overpowered and cheap, but, you know, Mortal Kombat. Next, Fable III, Collector's Edition. Right now, I don't have the actual game that would go inside of this. I lent it to a friend, but I do have the Collector's Edition box, which comes with playing cards and then this good and evil coin. This was not as good as Fable II, which was disappointing, but it definitely, you know, was fun. I did have a good time with it. This is a solid RPG. It's got a big area to explore, a bunch of different choices you can make that determine the outcome of the ending and how the world changes around you. You become king, and you can do so many things as king or queen if you choose to be a girl. But it's just so much fun to play this game, and you know, it's awesome. I can't wait for Fable 4 if they ever come out with it. I hope they do. It hasn't been announced yet, but I'm keeping my hopes up. This is an awesome game. Some people were disappointed by it. I didn't think it was that bad. You know, I had fun with it. I had bunches of fun with it. Fable 3. Next, Need for Speed the Run. This was a gift for Christmas, I believe, that my cousin gave to me. It's a solid game. The campaign is really cool, really fun, and then the multiplayer is awesome. You can race through the campaign stages through playlist, which is what they call, where you have different objectives to beat in those playlists that gives you bonuses and stuff, and you can win cars, you can bet cars, it's a lot of fun, and definitely worth picking up. Next is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. I was not a fan of this game. Way too realistic, way too hard for me, and I know, coming from me, who, you know, Dark Souls was my game of the year, nothing should be too hard for me, but if you've played this game, you know what I mean by saying it was way too hard. I don't know, it took all the enjoyment out of playing it for me, because it was, I don't know, it frustrated me how hard it was, and yeah. Next, Prince of Persia. This is an awesome game. Awesome. It's a platformer, action, adventure game. Really cool, really fun. I hope they do come out with a sequel for it. I had a blast with this game. The graphics are in a style of their own, I would say, but it's a good style. It's really fun, and the parkour, you know, the platforming and all that is lots of fun. They've scaled back the combat from other Prince of Persia games to make it so that you're only really fighting one enemy at a time, but it's really intense combat where you have to pull off combos and different strategies and stuff to be able to beat the enemies. Definitely worth it. Again, I got this for $5, which I probably bought this at least about 5 months ago. So you will hopefully be able to get it for cheaper, if not the same price, which, I mean, $5 is nothing. And it's definitely worth $5. Probably is worth more than $5, but, you know, whatever. It's a great game. Awesome, really fun. Next up is Rage. Rage is a beautiful game. The graphics are absolutely stunning. The gameplay and the story is a different, book. The story I was not into at all. The ending was completely abrupt and I didn't enjoy it. The story I was never really into from the beginning. The gameplay was fun, but I thought that it could have been improved upon the driving and the wasteland. I felt there was no real reason to explore the wasteland other than collecting like things that you jump through with your car. It was just, I don't know, I felt it could have been, for all the hype that it got, I felt it could have been better. It is a good game. The gameplay's alright. The graphics are absolutely amazing. The story is not bad, but it's average. But I would say it's worth it. I got this for $18, which is a good price for, I would say, this game. It's, if you really have nothing else to do, if you have some money to spend, why not go for it? You could do a hell of a lot worse. Next up is the Assassin's Creed series. That is Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. I did have Assassin's Creed 1, but I lent it to a friend, who then lent it to another friend, who I think lent it to another friend. So it's somewhere in my town, but I haven't really had the need to track it down. If you haven't played these games, you definitely should. They're really, really good at being Assassin's Creed games, and that doesn't really make sense. But they're awesome. The story is fun. The mechanics don't really change from game to game, but that's going to change in Assassin's Creed 3, because they're introducing a hell of a lot more stuff, and it's going to be an awesome game. The multiplayer for Revelations is so much fun that it's a reason in itself to buy this game. It's worth it. It's really, really worth it. Assassin's Creed Revelations and Assassin's Creed, in a box. Yeah. Rock Band, just the original, I had a bunch of fun with this game when it came out. I really liked the drum set and the guitar and how you can combine it with other people. I used to play it with my family and friends a bunch, and it's just really fun. But I haven't felt the need to get any new Rock Bands. Felt that this is enough because they don't really change anything from what I've heard. But maybe again, if I have some money to spend, why not go for Rock Band? Rock Band 2 or 3 or whatever they're up to right now. Next, LA Noire. Another Christmas gift. Really, really cool game. The mechanics in this, it's like a real police investigations. You move from desk to desk, which is, you get promoted and stuff. And all the different crimes, you have to investigate clues, and then you have to track down suspects and interview them. And it's a really cool mechanic with how people react to questions and how their face moves. You determine if they're guilty or lying, or you doubt them, or if they're telling the truth. It's really, really interesting. Really interesting game. It's really long too, 3 discs. But it's definitely worth it. There's probably a discounted price, at least somewhere around $30, I would say, because it came out at least a year ago. But definitely worth it for all the fun it has, and for all the content that is in this game, and all the different cases and stories, and it's just, you should definitely do it. Next up is Tomb Raider Legend. I got this, again, because I had some money to spend, and I didn't know what else to spend it on. And Tomb Raider Legend, I had a bunch of fun with this game. I heard Underworld was not very good, but I got this, I don't know why. Just because I needed a platforming game, and this looked alright. I'm definitely thinking about replaying it in anticipation for Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider that's coming out, which looks incredible. and I can't wait for that. But yep, that's Tomb Raider Legend. Next up is Rocksmith. I bought this game in hopes that it would teach me how to play my guitar a little bit better. And I haven't played too much of it, which is kind of sad, because I was really looking forward to playing it. But, I mean, it's got a bunch of songs there that are good. It's not gonna focus. Not gonna focus. Well, it's got a bunch of songs, and it does teach you how to play. For the little bit that I did play, I was learning. It definitely can teach you how to play guitar. And I will hopefully go back and play some more of this game soon. Next up is Faction Guerilla. This is an amazing game. Just the physics and how you can destroy buildings and destroy bridges and cars, and the story is good. It's a really good third-person shooter. It takes place on Mars. The story is amazing. The last level is kind of hard, but it's not overly hard. It's definitely worth whatever price you can get it for. I got it for dirt cheap when I got it, which was at least like 3 years ago. So you can definitely get it for pretty cheap. The multiplayer people still play, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. And that is Faction Guerilla. Alright, I've only got 4 more games, but one is this double pack of Batman and Pure. Lego Batman, that is. Lego Batman is a bunch of fun. It's a party game, I would definitely say. It's not for hardcore gamers, but definitely has its fair share of fun and cool collectibles and platforming, and it's a pretty funny game. I got this in anticipation for Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. I never did get that. I'm hoping I will get that soon because it looks like fun. Pure, I don't think I've played too much of Pure. It's a standard ATV racing game. From what I have played of it and what I've seen from it, it does look fun. The graphics look good. I just haven't broken into it yet. But definitely it's a cool bundle pack. I got it for $15, which I think is probably worth it for these 2 games. And that's that. Next is Darksiders. Really, really good game. Third-person action-adventure. Really good game. The story is amazing. The characters are good. The combat is good. It's just really, really, really good. If you haven't got this yet, you should, because Darksiders 2 is coming out in a month, I believe, if not sooner. Definitely worth all the fun that it can give you. It's really, really fun. Definitely pick it up. And last is El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. Strange game. Strange game. Can't really say more about that. It's got an art style of its own. It's got a story of its own. It's got mechanics of its own. I can't really describe it. It's really, really strange. Not bad, just strange. I really enjoyed it. My time with that. It's based off a biblical story about, Enoch and the angels that you have to get that came down to Earth. It's really, really interesting, really fun game, really cool story, but weird. And, if you have played this, you'll know what I mean when I say it's weird. Yep, well, that wraps it up for my Xbox 360 collection. Here I'll give you a little look at what it looks like. That stuff. And I really hope you enjoyed it. Oh, well, there's a couple more up there. I don't know if I can zoom. Oh, yeah, I can. Cool. There's a couple more up there. There's the first couple I filmed before my batteries ran out, and then my original Xbox, which I may or may not shoot in another video coming up. But I hope you enjoyed this video of my collection. I enjoyed shooting it. Please don't forget to comment, rate, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.